Elbis and Elbis Album Review Show.
Alright everyone, welcome back to the Elbis and Elbis album review show. I'm joined here with Elbis.
Alright, pal.
And a bit of an unexpected album review show, really. I mean, obviously, there was a bit of...
Furosity emanating from the last episode, which we've just recorded a minute ago, and the real fans will know because they'll have just hopped on this straight
Yeah,
from
they
that.
will have. And it was pretty clear we were
Correct, yeah.
furious at the end of the last episode. And I'm not talking about the end of the last
We're not
album
gonna get
review.
into
I'm
it.
talking about the end of the last episode of the season 2.
Yeah.
And we won't get into it.
Too
we just
much.
wanted to
Well,
have
I'm just
some
getting sick
positive energy
Of our
around here.
people being treated as second-class citizens, the astral community.
Absolutely. Like they don't even exist.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
how they're...
I know.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to get into it. I don't want
Let's
to get
not
into
get
it.
into that. So what's happening is this is kind of a casual after party with Elvis and Elvis.
Listen, we've got a beer. I've got a beer in my hand.
Normally
Elvis
people have to
has a
pay to
beer
come
in
to
his
something
hand.
like this, or the Patreon fans will be able to soon.
But guess what? We're having a party. You're all on the list.
Yes.
So well done.
And so we're going to listen to an album, but we weren't sure which album to listen to. So we do have a device which we have recombobulated.
Well.
And if you'll just turn this lever to the left, pal.
Will do.
I've got it on an extension now, by the way. That's why you don't have to walk over
Oh,
to it.
yeah.
It's a good extension as well because it's wet.
Well,
It
that
is
big,
now
it spans the room.
recombobulated to wheel mode. So I know you're all excited.
Well, do you want
It's
to get
the
into
album
it?
review show. Have we even said that yet?
Yeah, we have have we? Oh, yeah, the bloody intro says it.
Well, it
idiot.
is. Anyway, before you read out what has been
I'll have
fed
to take the
into
walk to the wheel, won't I?
You will in a minute, but before you do that, and before you read out what has been fed in this week...
Well, I'd just like to explain briefly why
Oh,
the
yeah,
Elbis and Elbis album review show has been missing. And quite frankly, when we reviewed an album,
got sick of it.
Automatic for the People, I'd blame Automatic for the People by the repetitive egomaniacs known as REM.
Yeah.
We were sick of it, basically. We were just sick of it. We wanted something new. We were sick of the wheel. We were sick of albums. And we just thought, we were just sick of the music industry.
Yeah,
because we were
we
just
were.
getting lawsuit after lawsuit. And we just thought, you know what? Let's go back to classic Elbis and Elbis. But now, after our curiosity towards the astral beings, well, not towards
We
astral
kinda need
beings,
towards
the people who are slagging off astral beings.
We
I
need
should
to
say.
do something that comes easy to us.
Yeah,
And
well,
this comes easy to us. There are album reviewers out there and so-called podcasters. Now, they put a lot of effort into things. We just do this for fun.
Right.
We basically click record and we just do it. So we're doing that today.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is, are we bringing back Elbis Predicts? Or are we putting
God.
that
I'm
on
taking the walk to the wheel.
All right.
Right, I'm here. And, well, on the wheel today, we've got Michael Jackson Bad, Hunky Dory by David Bowie, Urban Hymns by The Verve, Razorlight by, well, there's no prize for who's that's by Razorlight, Led Zepp 3, and again, no prize as to who can guess who is that is by, is Led Zeppelin. The Stone Roses, again, no prize, The Stone Roses.
It's an
And
eponymous hat trick.
Murder Ballads by, and there could be a prize here, but we're not probably going to give you one, Nick Cave and the Bad Seds.
New entry.
New entry into the wheel after we did Bat Out of Hell, well, Bat Out of Hell by Meat Loaf. I'd recommend go listening to that, and Meat, if you're listening, well done again, pal. Anyway, let's get this wheel fired up and let's fire up those petaflops. Oh! Well. I tell you what. I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm not sure. Well, come back to the
Well,
recording
I'll
area.
join Elvis back in the recording area. Alright, I'm back.
All right, pal.
Alright.
Well, I've got to admit, although I am fond of some songs by this band, I'm not tremendously aware of the album.
Well, I'm a fan, let's just say, and the album we are reviewing is Razorlight by Razorlight.
Eponymous album.
The eponymous album by Razorlight.
The debut album.
Bloody brilliant. Well, is it? We don't know.
We'll see.
I'll
be the judge of that. I'll be the judge of that.
Get Jukey sorted
is
anyway.
Is it the?
Is Jukey sorted or?
No, not yet. No.
Oh my god!
Well,
sort it out. Stop babbling on.
Is it the debut album?
I'm not sure. It might be. Yeah. It's definitely the one that made them successful. Let's just say.
Okay, hang on a minute.
The hell are you doing with that Jukey?
It's absolutely primed to go.
Right, okay.
So the first song, and we need to get this bit
well,
done because you know what it's like.
As we know, Elbis and Elbis always say the first song in an album needs to kick the album off.
Well,
let's see what it is.
It's called. Oh, no, actually, it's called In the Morning.
Oh.
Now,
play it.
if someone was to
play it.
All right, I'll say that afterwards.
Well, that was In the Morning by Razorlight, and I've got to say, what a start to an album that was.
Very good indeed. Now, what I'd like to ask is, was this about 2004?
Roughly, yeah. It was the same time as the Kaiser Chiefs really came onto the scene as well.
Well, it was a time sort of post Oasis mania.
Yeah.
As I remember it, and there was kind of a dearth of musical talent just for a year or two, and then all of a sudden you got loads of them coming, like Razorlight and the Kaiser Chiefs and Kings of Leon, and just loads of them came at the same time, and it was a good time. And the reason I ask is because back in 2004, I was kind of in a split career back then between professional pool player and professional poker player. I was kind of doing both. Let's just say I was burning the candle at both ends.
Yes.
Now, it was a great time in my life. It was. And I'll maybe speak about it a little bit more later on. But in terms of opening an album, as a statement, good song, I would say.
Well,
not the best, but good.
When I was... Well, at the time the album came out, let's just say, I was in my prime. And I've been in my prime for, well, as long as I've
It's
been
been
alive,
downhill
let's
ever
just say.
since. Yeah.
And when I heard this,
Yeah.
I was just like, yes. Turn that up, and my mum was like, oh god, he likes that, and I was like, yep.
It is a tremendous song, though.
Absolutely tremendous. And I've actually seen these live.
Have you really?
I really have.
No,
With the Kaiser Chiefs.
Oh, wow.
So Kaiser Chiefs was at a establishment in which people are held.
Now, where was this establishment?
It was in a city known as Hull.
Oh, a good place I have been.
Yeah, it's alright.
I've been there. One of the best places I've been.
Well, honestly, and apparently it gets a few bad rap. You know, get some bad raps or something.
Yeah.
But when I went, it was all right to me. It was pretty decent. It was a great night for me. I bloody loved it. Seeing Razorlight and Kaiser Chiefs, it was classic.
Well, talking about Kaiser Chiefs.
I won't slag all off, you know. Well done.
Talking about the Chiefs, or, you know...
Well, let's get back to
Monkey used to
Razorlight.
call
This is
them
their album.
Kaiser Chiefs. Well, I'll just say this now.
Yeah.
I was going to lie and say... It wasn't a lie. It was one of those things where I got confused. I was going to say I've seen them live, but it's not true. It was actually Chesney Hawkes I saw live singing a Kaiser Chiefs song. And do you know what? He did a bloody good job.
Well, I mean, Razorlight here, I mean, we should probably talk about...
well, let's
In the
go
Morning.
on to the next song.
No, I mean, we haven't spoke about In the Morning. I think In the Morning, great start to an album. I'll
Great
be brief.
name for a start
Great
to the album.
name for a start of an album.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it could almost spark a narrative from the sounds of it and from the song. But I just want to say, actually, it sort of reminded me of Pulp.
All right.
And it was the way he, like, he sort of spoke the words to you at the start there. I mean, you know, it's like... He was sort of like having a go at you, but he won't. It was so weird. It was like he was saying the words to you, and you had to listen. And by God, I will listen all day. If
I am
he
not a
speaks
student
words like
of Razorlight lyrics.
And I mean, I tell you what a bloody great song. I tell you what, I'll get some lyrics up next song, not this one.
Yeah,
so don't
all right,
panic,
yeah.
pal.
Well, I was going to say, just in the morning, you know you don't remember a thing. It could be like insinuating, you know, you got an hangover, everything's all right. But also in the morning, the only time that is real is the present.
It's like what?
And the start of the morning is a brand new day for everyone. What happened in the past is a memory. What is happening in the future is a worry or a hope.
And the
thing is, it kind of illustrates that well.
When he speaks the words, he's like, the boy can't help it. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, yes. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's got a
Be
message
rebellious
here, and
team. Well,
we'll see.
let's find out.
What follows it? Let's see what follows it.
Who needs love? And I made sure that Dookie is absolutely... In fact, what I've done is I've taken off the randomise button.
Good.
I picked it out with a
I
screwdriver.
don't even know why I needed it.
Yeah, but I don't know if the button's depressed underneath. So we'll find
Right.
out.
Well, let's have a look. Well, that was Who Needs Love, and it was an interesting one, that one. I thought it was a jolly jit, I did.
I thought it was a smooth, jolly jit
Yeah,
that reminded
I did,
me of Alvin Stardust.
Well...
And cross between Bruce Springsteen.
Well, it was almost like it took you back in time there for me. Yeah, a bit like what you were just saying.
1982,
with,
you're
yeah,
thinking,
well, I am in a way.
83.
Yeah,
Yeah, 83,
the 80s. It
82,
does take you back in time. That song. I mean, it's a great song. I think that one, and it sort of almost eased you into the album there. It's like In the Morning sort of said, right, here's the album.
Yeah.
And then that song's just gone. No,
Yeah,
there you go.
I liked it a lot, if I'm
Just get
honest.
into it.
Now, I do remember that song. I'm not sure if it came out as a single, because I've not... Well, I maybe have listened to this album, because as Elbis and I discussed off-air, which we shouldn't do when we try not to do in these reviews, because we like the fans to know everything that's going on. But I was very socially active in many circles.
Well,
during this
no
period.
one cares what. I think this song...
It may have been played in the background.
I think that song there... I've seen these live, as I've said, in Hull.
Okay.
Now...
Are we going to hear this every song?
I think...
I've seen these live.
I've got to say... I've got to say... Razorlight.
Get over it.
Razorlight. Brilliant live. Brilliant live.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Performance. They have performance. They have... what's the other one? Consistency. And they've got something else. I don't know what it is. But they've got it. And... that almost gives me more respect for a band or artist, or let's just say, because I think if you can perform it on the album and perform it live, a beat like Meat Loaf, that I have respect for you there. I have respect, and that's why I've got so much respect for Razorlight.
My pal, who I was hanging with a lot at the time,
Yeah.
Well, am I right in thinking that the lead singer Johnny Burrell is a American man?
I believe he is an American man.
Now, the rest of the band isn't, and one of them at least is Swedish.
Swedish, yeah.
Yeah, now my pal...
Is that the drummer?
I don't know. My pal who went to... Oh, actually, I don't know if one of these is in that Ricky Gervais thing. You know, like the Ricky Gervais's backing band.
Yeah,
I think two of them are the brothers, aren't they?
Yeah. Life on the Road.
That's true. Yeah, two of them are brothers. Well, my pal, he went to go see him back in the day. Not when you went to go see him, probably after there was famous. No, but he went to go see him, and he was waiting outside, and they had a bus pull up, and the Swedish one went, "Oh yeah, do you fancy a beer, mate?" Got on the bus, had beers with him. Johnny Burrell had his own bus, so that makes me suspect him.
Well, in a way, I think if you've got your own bus, I mean, it's like if Elbis and Elbis hit the road, I'd probably want my own bus.
Yeah,
I couldn't stand
too many.
I couldn't
women
stand.
In mine, almost certainly.
All the attractive
the next one
is on
called
my bus.
Yes.
I couldn't stand.
You know that.
Sat on a bus with you.
Absolutely
bloody
no
hours.
chance.
Now get stuck. Anyway, what's the next song? Oh, I turned both of them up, by the way.
Oh, Definado.
Yeah, I turned both of them up.
No
Definado.
doubt about that.
Now, what's the next one?
Hold on.
Well, I will do. Well, that was Hold On. Oh my God, you've spoiled it.
Well, it's jukey, innit?
Jesus Christ, will you get a hold of that jukebox for once in your bloody life?
Don't worry.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Hold On. It sounded like a jolly jit to me, but I didn't really listen to it that well because Elbis was banging on about some stupid story that he was trying to tell me. And I was saying, look, I want to try and listen to this and be professional, but he just kept banging on about a crap story.
The thing is,
Hold On, it was all right.
Let's just say it was not unpleasant because we never said this is crap. So obviously we would keep it the same, but I would probably turn it up because
and I tell you what,
it did start, and I thought it sounded all right.
And I tell you what it did do, it emphasised the effectiveness of the riff.
It maybe did in a way
because the guitar riff in it was sensational, and
I can't remember it.
Honestly, and like In the Morning, sensational guitar riff, and the second song of the album. What was that again? I forgot.
The other one.
The other one. That was like, again, that was mainly a guitar riff carrying the song, and that I think Razorlight do that, and I have seen them live, and they do have in their possession lots of their guitars.
You must have some more stories.
You know,
Jesus
a lot
Christ.
of the performance is
let's
done
go on.
off a guitar. So I do think Razorlights are more of a guitar-based band. However, I don't think that's a bad thing, because so far this is quality.
The riffs
are brilliant. The riffs are brilliant, and I'm loving this album so far. 10 it up from me.
Yeah, go on. I'll turn it up. I didn't really listen to it because he was banging on about
some.
I didn't listen
banging
to
on about some.
But it never offended me, and it was nice.
Jesus
and I
Christ.
think sometimes, but listen. I'm going to bail you out here because I think sometimes when you're listening to good music, you're having a little beer. Now, we don't drink a lot. Fans don't drink too much.
Drink along with us.
But, well, yeah, go get a drink.
Go get
Only if you're over 18 in the UK or 21 in the most states in America.
Happens.
Or whatever the legal age is in your country. If you are over that, then go get a beer.
Just have a beer with us. Listen to some
What we're saying is, if you are old enough to drink,
you're square.
have a couple, don't have too many. But what I'm saying is that sometimes when you are enjoying an ale, if there is music which is agreeable to you in the background, it encourages socialising. I was going to say socialism.
I would agree.
That
I'd
is a
say
political
when you
view.
have an alcoholic beverage, it increases your social
propensity to articulate nonsense
towards the
companion
that is within your household.
Let's listen to the next one.
Let's
It's
go.
called America, Somewhere I've Been.
Well, that was America, Razorlight, and I tell you what, I will make the call right now. I'll put my hand up now and I'll say that is one of the best songs of all time.
Well, I
Genius.
feel listening to that right now in the year 2021, I feel humbled and ashamed, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because back when this was going on, like I say, I think it was more my poker days at this time. And this song used to be on in the background, and all I was bothered about was what was coming out on the flop, you know. And to be honest, this used to be on, and I never listened to it.
Probably not.
No. Oh, well, it's not floppy where I am, believe me. Oh, that's never been a problem.
I bet the lads at Sausage Fest
Yeah,
can vouch for that one.
Yeah, we were
Anyway,
making
listen.
Anyway, like I say, you brought the lyrics up, and I will give you credit here. You educated me a little bit. You said, have a look at these lyrics. I had a look. And you know what? All my life watching America, all my life there's panic in America. There's trouble in America.
You don't quite
and that's
sing
the
it
thing.
like that, but...
No, but do you know what I mean? That's right, innit? Think about it, fans. Think about it.
I think this song is...
It's right.
I mean, he's American, isn't he?
Who cares about America? And we have
This
got
song-
some
it
great
sums up
American
America.
fans.
It sums up America.
We've got some great
It does.
American fans.
Because it's
and we're not
almost this-
slagging you off.
I feel like this
Don't say Americans.
song,
Says
Johnny
America.
Burrell has wrote it and said... It's like he's wrote it about his experience of America. He lives there. He is American. This is an American talking about America.
And he came to
And he said, it's almost like he's saying, look, in America, there's almost this strife. So everyone wants to be successful in their field, in music industry, whether it's Hollywood, like he says about. I read the movie script, but it don't mean much to me. It's people just latch onto things because they want success. This is what this song's all about. It's brilliant.
I could improve it, and I'll tell you how I would.
I think I know what you're going to say.
I'm going to say, all my life watching American news. All my life, there's panic on American news.
Ridiculous.
No, it's right.
It's ridiculous.
It's a brilliant song. Brilliant song.
Yeah, like that, not with American news on it. You
Listen,
idiot.
no, I'm going to read it.
I've got one criticism.
I'll probably read it.
One criticism.
Go on then.
The thing is with that song is, I sat down here, and there was a moment of silence between me and Elbis.
I could see you was contemplating.
And I looked at you, and I looked at Elbis, and I said, I bloody wish I was back in 2006.
That's true. That is
It
true.
made me reflect. And I think a song that makes you reflect, a song that makes you think, God, bloody hell. You know, whether it's now and you think in 2021 you think, God, them times were great.
That's true.
I think it needs to be further down the album myself.
Well, it depends what comes next, and I have no idea.
I suppose it does, but
To
I
be
mean,
honest,
already
I
I'm
don't.
reflecting, and already it made me feel like, God, what the world's gone to now?
Do
It's
you know
ridiculous.
what, though? It feels third songish to me, and I don't know why.
Nah, to me, it should be later on, I think, because it made me reflect, and it's almost made me feel a bit down now, because I'm thinking, what the world's come to? But then you can't criticise. I mean, in 2006,
Hang on a minute.
Razorlight would not have predicted what's gone on.
Now, when I look at an album...
Oh, don't tell me you've bloody messed the bloody album.
No, I haven't at all, no. No. Believe me, as I say, I've removed the button. And
Go on,
I think the button's...
All right, what are you saying? Come on.
But what I mean is the fact that you're full of regret because we're not living in the past.
Yeah,
which may never have existed. It's just an imprint in your own psyche, let's just say. However, the thing is, don't get too upset about it, right? And the thing is, before you fall to pieces, you need to hear this song.
Good one,
Could be a
pal.
narrative here, and I can
Good
smell
one,
a narrative a mile away.
Great one, pal.
Thanks, pal.
Well, that was Before I Fall to Pieces by Razorlight, and once again, a fantastic song on a fantastic album so far.
Where are we now? We're 1, 2,
Fifth song,
3,
is it?
4, 5 songs in. Now, this album has 13 songs, so it's quite long.
I mean, the first 5,
Brilliant.
absolutely sensational.
Absolutely brilliant.
Sensational.
Yeah.
And again, we looked at the words, and I mean, The first thing you just said to me was amazing. Because the way the way the words are structured, the way the song's structured,
Really good.
Really good. This is a master at work here for me.
I feel like I don't give Razorlight credit. I was at an age
This is the
where
point
it
of the album review
mean
show.
a lot to me.
Yeah.
You know, just background music in a way, which I really enjoyed, and I thought, oh yeah, these are good. You know, never bought the record. I just enjoyed it when they came on. Never really studied them in any depth. But now I'm looking at it now, and this is the great thing about this album review show.
And I want people to think, people listening, and we always say, listen along with us, always listen along.
Oh yeah, pause.
So,
it.
pause it,
Right,
listen to songs with us.
We play them, but
And I want you to do it.
I don't think Razorlight copyright us.
Oh, well,
though,
the legends.
Doubt it.
I think, just listen to this, right, and just think, is there anything as good as this now? Just think.
Not now.
Just think about
Not
that.
now.
They're in.
No,
They're in.
I'll agree.
You
I'll
can't-
agree. I think if this was out today, if this was released in 2021,
The best thing I've
it'd
heard.
be head and shoulders above anything.
The best thing
Anything.
I've heard today, 2021. Well, in this year, like 2021,
Man, it's
2020.
meatloaf when I played in the kitchen today.
No, but I mean, like coming, that's come out recently. It's
Oh,
probably
yeah,
the best song I've heard that came out recently was Once, and that wasn't even that recent. But that's just the best thing I've heard in the past few years.
Yeah, well, Eric Cantona was in the
Yeah, Liam Gallagher Once,
And that's Eric Cantona is listening.
Well, Liam Gallagher.
Send us an email. I would say.
Definitely. We'll have you on the show, pal. Don't worry about it. I know you've been thinking.
Liam has sent us a few DMs about
Well,
him following
anyway,
Elbis and Elbis being the number
look,
one follower, or the only one follower. And the thing is,
Look, pal, we'll think about
we
it.
admire
Gee.
Liam Gallagher and Oasis in general. We've said it many times.
And a lot
but
of
they're
people-
not original as what Elbis and Elbis are.
A lot of
We've always
people
said that.
compare us to Liam and Noel in a way.
In a way.
And
In a
in a way, I'd just say, don't be comparing us to them. Compare them to us.
Exactly.
That's what I'd say.
Now the
Anyway,
next song,
yeah.
I can't think.
Oh, turn this up, by the way.
Oh, I'd turn everyone up. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I would,
No
absolutely.
doubt
To the
about
max.
it.
To the
No
max.
doubt about it.
To the max.
I would turn it up and I would get
Even
a bit
in-
of sellotape, as I have done with Juki actually.
You have done with
I would
Juki,
use the
yeah,
same
yeah.
technique as I have with Juki.
Yeah.
And I would stick the sellotape on the dashboard and reinforce it every day.
If I
Just
could
'cause
take,
it does lose its
yeah,
stickiness.
If I could take
It does lose
Juki
its
with me into
stickiness.
a car, however,
Oh, good luck. It'd have to be a bloody van.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think it'd fit in a van, to be honest.
Articulated lorry.
Jesus Christ.
But
But yeah, I mean, turn it
She's
up
old,
on me to the max.
she does the job.
She does do the job, I suppose.
Right, the next song is
Sometimes.
called I Can't Stop This Feeling I've Got.
Whoa, put this one on, pal.
I've never heard it, I don't think.
Well, I have. Well, that was I Can't Stop This Feeling I've Got And the feeling I've got about this album is that it's absolutely quality so far.
Well, that was
really
a kind of a tune where I think maybe if I'd been out in the hostelry of liquid refreshment, let's just say,
Yes.
and I'd met like not just a single female entity, but I had met a group of entities, you know, which I enjoy spending time with, and I'm not all female or male, female, all this. You know, there was some. Let's just say they were pals in the physical realm.
Well, if you met a group of
transgenders,
let's just say there'd be nothing wrong with that. You just
nothing wrong with it.
Well, you know, nice to meet you and that.
Absolutely, you would treat them like everybody else.
Exactly.
Now, what I would do is, it's a bit like, oh yeah, well, we've got a flat just up there, and you'd go back, you'd get in, they'd stick this record on, and everybody would have a bloody good chat.
They would.
Now, it's not a song where I would stop chatting to listen to it, but it is one that I would enjoy chatting to, if you see what I mean. Which is a great song in itself.
Not wrong with that. Not wrong
it's
with
a great song in itself.
That's not criticism.
Horses for courses.
I'd say, can't stop this feeling I've got. I'd say...
Oh God, when the valves has gone.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's alright. It's alright.
You better
You carry on.
Quick.
You carry on.
Oh, sort that. God. Can't stop this feeling I've got. I'd say it's like... It, again, emphasises the effectiveness of the riff, but... When I listened to that song, it made me think about how unique Razorlight's sound is. I thought, the thing is, nowadays, well, not even nowadays, but when an artist wants to break out into the music scene, they want people to know who they are. They're looking for that USP, as I call it, that unique selling point. They're looking for something that divides them from everyone else. And I think for Razorlight, and it's really rare, especially after, you know, this is 2006. You've got the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, 60s, all, you know, all that music from all them.
It's like an amalgamation.
It really
Some
is.
of the best points combobulated into
a single cell
compound, which is
effective
then appropriated into the noughties, as we used to call the decade.
And it's like it's so unique.
And by today's comparison, the noughties were naughty.
Well,
but compared with what was before, they were pretty average.
And it's like, can't stop this feeling I've got. It's so unique the way it sounds, and I think Razorlight, for me, they just the sound of the guitar, the sound of the band. About a minute of that song had no words in it. It was just riff. It was just a band playing a guitar, playing their instruments, and having a good time. And it reflected that with the song. And to me, them having a good time made me have a good time. And I had a good time listening to it. And if that came on the radio, I'd get the sellotape and I'd crank it up.
Would you say that it's a cracking example of a pop song 2006?
I'd say it was a cracking example of a pop song in 2006.
Well, it's not as good as the next one because it's actually called it. So let's wait and see.
Let's see what it is.
Sounds like.
Well, that was Pop Song 2000, and for me, that song
2006.
Pop Song 2006. It's because I'm thinking a comparison of Pulp, and I'm thinking Disco 2000. That's why I said that. Yeah. Sorry about that. Pop Song 2006 by Razorlight. For me, that song, it was all right. That it was a jolly jit again.
Wasn't great. It was all right.
I thought.
It would not.
It was
physically,
bold to me. That it was a
it
bold.
would not physically make
song.
me turn it up. That song. If that came on the radio whilst driving in a built-up suburban area or otherwise, it would not make me physically say, "Oh yeah, I love this."
But
that to me is a stay the same.
It was
the first
I think
one.
it was
the last
I
one.
think it was a bold song for me, that, because it was risky, because I don't think it necessarily worked, but in the basically, I think the title Pop Song 2006. What are they saying by that? Pop Song 2006. It's just
might be saying
this is what pop songs
sounds like.
Yeah.
And
so they might be having a go,
really. It could be a statement.
Yeah. It's more of a statement than a song. That
maybe that's what the point.
A generic pop song, and that's what it sounded at. When the riff played, I thought this is generic. This doesn't sound unique to me.
That wouldn't make me turn it up. Do you know what? I bet they wrote that as a bit of filler.
And
I bet they thought, do you know what? That sounds like a pop song in 2006, and they thought, do you know what? Let's just stick it on the album. Now, I do have a confession to make, and I'll get this out of the way now because I want to address it. I did say earlier on that there was 13 songs on this album.
Well,
Now, what I didn't tell you even, Elbis, because I've been building Dukey for a few years now, as you know, and I wrote a little program which I installed into the back of it in firmware some years ago, and it has the instructions in it, which I will remove for next time, to seek out, like a spider, additional live performances by a band. And that's why it came up to say there was 13 tracks on this.
Whereas telling
actually,
me Dukey,
I've just analysed it.
produced more songs than was
needed.
needed.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
There should be just 10 songs on it.
Oh,
so
well.
if my
Dukey.
calculations are correct, then there's only a couple more songs left, I think. In fact, there's only one song left. So what I'm thinking is this is only a 10-song album, and so I think that they didn't want to make it 9 songs because then they'd be in Meatloaf territory. They thought we need 10 songs. They thought let's just stick one on. That's not our best. What should we call it? And they're like, well, it's about nothing. It sounds generic. Let's call it Pop Song 2006. Because if any other band did it, it'd probably be decent.
I think your calculations are correct, and I also think your observations of the song are correct as well. I think possibly, yeah, there was looking for filler there, and it's a shame really because I do feel like when you look at the top albums like that we've reviewed, there is no filler.
Just get rid of it.
Just get rid of it. And Pop Song 2006, I think they've turned filler into like a statement. And I'm not sure whether it is that effective really because it is a bit generic, even though I feel like it's meant to be. But then again, is it worth having a generic song in your album when all along, you know, these full 6 songs I've been saying how unique Razorlight are don't really portray that. So it's a bit of a step down for me. So I probably agree with Elbis. I think he is correct, and I'd say keep it the same.
Now I'm going to put on the next song, which is Kirby's House. According to...
Who the hell is Kirby? That's what
I don't know, but according to Al Dukey, it's Kirby's House. Now, there may or may not be 1 or 2 that come next, because the order I'm getting here is very different to the list I have.
You're alright,
So, let's see. We'll put Kirby's House on.
Yeah,
now,
Kirby's
this isn't Dukey's fault, I don't think. The spidering was.
Kirby's House is fine. Oh my god. Well, that was Kirby's House, and yeah, there was one glaring flaw about
For me,
that
this
song.
is a band that's running out of ideas, and it's also down to poor placement. They had a brilliant start to this
they
album.
did.
The first however many songs, first 6 songs or so, outstanding. And for me now, Pop Song 2006 was generic. There was bits of repetitiveness, and it wasn't outstanding in any way. And I think the biggest mistake they've made, if you've got 6 songs, you can make a 10-song album really good. They haven't placed them right. They've just shoved them all at the beginning. Hoped everyone was drunk by the end.
I really want to defend this album because I bloody love Razorlight, and I don't think it's a bad album. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad album. The first 6 songs are exceptional, but it feels like it is declining here because Kirby's House here, I mean, it's not that bad of a song. I actually thought it was quite a jolly jit, and again, it sort of took me back in time to like the 60s maybe. You know, it reminded me of like a...
I'll give it that.
In my head, it sort of reminded me of like an American like kid who's like on his way to work or something, and he's just got the windows down and like a pickup truck or something. That's what it reminded me of. But you know, as you say, there was some recycled words in that song. Let's just say, and I am a fan of recycled words.
As lyricists, we do not appreciate that.
Yeah, we do. I'm not a fan of recycled words, but I just think Kirby's House. I think at this point they're trying too hard to be different.
In some ways,
Pop Song 2006. They tried to be. The whole point of the song was for it to be generic, which is different, I suppose, because they're trying to be generic. And then Kirby's House, they're just trying to be like a different style, like go back to the 60s. I think they're trying too hard here.
In some ways, it makes me think about Elbis and Elbis, and I'll tell you why. Because it's like people listen to us, and every episode we do, it gets stronger, it gets stronger, it gets stronger. Now, sometimes we get a bit mad, like the ridiculous egomaniacs, whatever that was called.
The repetitive egomaniacs.
That's it.
I think you're referring
Now,
to.
and that was the source material. So maybe we want our best episode, but that was the source material. Want us? We were brilliant.
Nope.
And so people think, these guys have they all pre-recorded these, and they're just shoving them in, like one after the other, get the audience hooked and all that.
Yeah, annoys
me. No, the best is yet to come. And the thing is, we just keep getting better.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And the thing is, I think we have to accept that, not everyone is like that. And
that's
some
true.
People or bands, artists, don't get better. And I think
Johnny Burrell might have been writing these songs since he was 6.
Johnny Burrell.
Right? He wrote 6 good songs and thought, do you know what? I could put together a good album here.
Johnny Burrell.
And it's like a hit and run. Yeah. This album. Yeah, it's like, right, get this down here.
I'm off.
Oh, yeah. And then he's off.
But I'm not saying I've never done another good song.
They might do one on this album.
I think that there is some other songs that they've sung. Even recently, I think there is a few songs I do like. But again, in this album, Kirby's House, disappointing. Pop Song 2006, disappointing.
Well,
this is a declining end, and I do put that down to placement.
It's like our 3 things that we always look for. Have they had performance? Yes, they have.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
Have they had consistency? They did have. No, it's starting
up
to just
to song
fall
6,
off.
Yes.
And have they got something else? Well, we're not sure.
We're not sure about that.
Well, the next one's called Back to the Start. And do you know what?
I wish I went back to the start.
If this was on my CD radio, I would definitely, probably, right now after that last song, put it back to the start.
Yeah, I would, yeah.
But we don't know, because there's Back to the Start, and then there's another song, oh God, and the one after it is called The Worst City in the World Waltz. I bet you can guess what that is.
Oh, LA, bloody hell.
LA Waltz,
Jesus.
yeah. Well, let's listen to Back to the Start first. That might be what it's saying, is don't listen to the last one, because that city is a dump.
And maybe it's just saying, let's go back to the start here.
Well, let's have a listen.
Anyway, penultimate song. That was Back to the Start, Razorlight, and
not my favourite, really, to be honest.
Again, but I thought it was alright. I thought it was an improvement, definitely. I thought.
Well, it was, I suppose.
I mean, straight away, the intro reminded me of the specials, actually.
Oh, really? Well, it's the time period that I discussed earlier when I mentioned Elvis Costello.
Yeah, it really did. I think this album might be like a homage, possibly, to the early 80s. Previous artists before them.
Yeah, maybe so, yeah.
And I think Back to the Start here, I've got to say, now we talk about performance, consistency, and something else.
Yeah.
I think so far, one thing that's been consistent is they have got the song length correct every time.
Yes, I'll agree. There's no songs that have gone on too long.
No, there isn't. And there's no song that is too little either. I think they've gone perfect length every time.
It's rare you get a song that goes too little, to be honest.
I don't know. If you're loving it, loving it, you probably think, oh yeah, go.
Not really. No, for me, a sharp punch to the stomach is better.
Sometimes,
than a cheese grater.
I would probably argue
that.
That. I'd argue that. I'd argue that. But that's another day. Another argument for another day. But I think Back to the Start, for me, you know what? I'd turn it up because I enjoyed it, and I think with this song, first of all, I thought this song sounds like a Razorlight song, and it sounds like a song that probably needs another few goes at. And I think probably after maybe your 4th or 5th listen, start to appreciate this song.
Yeah, it sounded to me like a band who sounds a bit like Razorlight singing one of their own songs.
And I think that Back to the Start.
Not my favourite.
God.
The last one is Los Angeles Waltz. Now it already starts to me at a bad point. This to me is an album which is top heavy. If they cut it at number 6, it'd
now
be
he's slagging it off because he thinks he knows everything.
No, I hear it as I.
God, just because I like to listen.
Say it as I hear it. I mean, the thing is, Los Angeles Waltz. It's a bad city full of bad people. And, if you're our American friends, I can guarantee
I was
you don't
actually attacked in that city.
Well, we know about that. I wasn't physically attacked, but I felt like physically attacking some people.
Well, that says
It's
more
an
about you
horrible
than it does
place.
about them.
Now, the only waltz I've done in Los Angeles is the waltz home.
Wow.
And
Let's see.
let's listen to it.
Well,
This
you
is
never
the last
know.
one.
They might be having a go. So let's have a listen.
I've removed the firmware, so Dukey ain't going to go off.
Hurry up about it. Well, that was LA Waltz, or whatever it's called. Los Angeles Waltz.
Yeah.
I believe. And when... It's really frustrating, this album, for me, because it seems I compliment them, and then they go against my compliment and completely do something against what I complimented them about.
Yeah.
So, like, as I said last time, I said there was consistency in the song length. For me, that went on too long.
Yeah, it did. I would describe this album in its entirety as a deflationary action.
I would definitely say you are...
Let's just say I was a balloon and I was full of helium.
Well,
The first 6 songs, I was like, yeah, this is great.
I think you're correct.
And then it deflated me somewhat, and I slowly drifted back to the ground. And I thought, when am I going to hit it and get home for me dinner? Do you know what I mean?
I think
It's good album, very good album. I would put it above a lot of the crap we have reviewed.
I mean, for me, that was the final song as well, wasn't it?
It was the final straw. I'm glad it's over.
The final song, it didn't feel like a final song. It didn't feel like it was.
No.
It didn't feel like, look, this was the album. Thanks for listening. I think America should have been the last song on this album.
They could have mixed that up so much better. Now, I'm not going to slag off Razorlight
I feel
too
like
much here.
they found out that they realised that their songs, let's just say, in the second half of the album, or the second act of the album, wasn't as strong as the first act. Now, I think with that, they panicked and they've just thrown the best songs on the album together at the first 6.
Well, you've got to blame the organiser of the album.
You do.
Or
You do. You've got to
producer,
sympathise. You've got to sympathise.
The producer.
I remember
he said, let's put them in this order, whereas we clearly would have put them in a different order. Yeah. And people would have said, this is a classic. This is a classic.
I do believe Razorlight.
Let down.
And I think Razorlight would have done. I do. I think Razorlight would have put them in a different order if it was up to them, but I don't feel like it was. I don't. I think Johnny Burrell, let's just say, would have put them in a different order. And I think there was... I remember making this point before on the Pulp review of Different Class, where we said that this order should be reshuffled, and I think if it was up to Jarvis Cocker of that album, he would have reshuffled the album to match the narrative he was telling.
Probably.
But
it was still brilliant as it was.
Reshuffled.
You actually made the thing that commercially it was perfectly placed. Everything was perfectly placed. Commercially, to me, this is not perfectly placed, nor is there a narrative. For me, it's a missed opportunity, and that makes me sad.
It does me, because I think the first 6 songs were sensational, and I thought Back to the Start was decent. I thought it was good. I thought it was good. I thought Kirby's House was...
Turn it up.
Pop Song 2006 was generic.
And then stay the same. Done.
I think you've gone over 10 there, but...
that's it.
Turn it up.
Anyway, let's wrap this up, because I'm feeling deflated.
Stay the same. Turn it up slightly.
I'm feeling deflated.
Then stay the same, and then put Pulp on.
Let's do the outro, because it's been a good album. I've had some good times. It's what we needed after the last episode, because do you know what? It's just the same, because I enjoyed the last episode. By the way, if you haven't checked it out, it's season 2, episode 3.
Season 2, episode 3.
Podcast. It's a world-class episode.
World-class episode, yeah.
But it finished on a downer.
It did.
We started this on an upper, and we finished it on a downer.
I know, and I feel like
when is someone going to give us an happy album?
I want to carry on until it would get happy, but it's 43 minutes as it is, and I don't want to go on anymore.
I've only got so much in mid-part.
Look, we've got to the end of this album. I'd say Razorlight by Razorlight. I'd say it's still worth a listen to me. It is. It's still worth a listen.
I'll tell you what, if you buy it on vinyl,
listen to the first 6.
Don't turn the record over.
Just listen to the first side.
Yeah.
Conclusive yet cohesive.
Well spoken.
The Elbis and Elbis Album Review Show.
let us down, didn't they?
We've been Elbis and Elbis, you've been World Class. It was annoying me because it's the only one we answered it.